Shalom, Yashra. I'm going to post the link in the comment section if you brothers want to come in and talk. Let's see. Hold on, Vega. I'm gonna bring you in. I'm just trying to figure this out. It's not letting me. You there? Shalom.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Shalom. Hoshi, shalom, bro.
Shalom, Mahim. Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Shalom, Jose. Shalom, Yash.
Shalom, bro. Do you understand the lesson or no?
Yeah, man, I was actually gonna ask you, like, when you guys were actually talking about gypsies, todo eso, what do you guys think about Palestine? The Palestinian people are remnants of Israel being amongst them, and also the
Yeah. Some
Kurds,
people are there,
so-called
bro.
Kurds.
Yeah. Because remember, I said earlier, like, or last time I said that there is a remnant of our people, Northern Kingdom most likely. Who knows? They might be Southern, but they're Israel nonetheless. In Iraq, there's a special town separated from the other Iraqis, which speak Aramaic and stuff. They speak Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm listening. Shalaki.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So
Yeah,
so basically, that's what I
because
wanted to bring out.
yeah, because because really a lot of people that have actually broke bread with, or that have actually had talked with, conversated with, they don't really understand the Northern Kingdom migration. So they don't understand how through which lands the Northern Kingdom was dispersed through. And it was 10 tribes, so there were pockets of remnants of people left over in different parts. Yes, until get into Astra, and so right now they're bringing up this is pretty good concept. That you're bringing out. It actually reminds me of all the prophecies coming true, and our people waking up and actually recognizing. And yeah, hasta in even in Latin America, how a lot of people are actually waking up, man. I see it, but we see it online. That's the only way we can actually see the reflection of this happening. And so the Palestinian people and the Kurds were always on my mind to as Northern Kingdom remnants, as lost tribesmen de Israel. Entonces, basically, it's just so
Shalom, bro.
weird.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shalom, you there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
here.
was saying that, of course, yeah, of course, our people are everywhere, and it's the problem is that our people are the hidden people, the hidden people of the book. Therefore, us being hidden away, it's not gonna give the understanding to the people that hey, our people are over there too. Some of the Turks are there, some of the Iraqis are there, some of the Lebanese are our people, so on and so forth. And we're everywhere. It's just that brothers only focus on the Western Hemisphere because of the 12 tribe chart, which is fake, which is
Yeah.
actually false.
Wow. Hey, the veras sí cierto, cierto. That's true because a lot of people when you talk, even that 12 tribe actually contradicts a lot of people when they try to debate. But that's kind of selfish that people in America, where no matter what you how you identify or como sea, you actually think that you're the only ones that are awoken in the moment. It's like a lot of people think they're the only ones that have access to scripture or different fountains of information, references, or whatever it could be. And there's a lot of people even in the Middle East, even people in Afghanistan, que saben que they even have so-called last names of these 12 tribes, este de Israel amongst them. We don't even know about it because these are people that are actually real people that are real and rural, or they're so far away from civilization, they're still in their in their tribal ways and villages and so on. And you really don't get to really ever come across these people or conversate with them or know what knowledge they have, or what history they have, or what ways, habits, customs,
Exactly.
or whatever they have of Israel, right? And you can actually see them the very few times you come across, whether it be documentaries, whether they come around, whether you come across them through Facebook or whatever. There's a lot of Yahudin in Iran, and they don't have any problems with Muslims. Muslims actually recognize them because there's a difference between Shia and Sunni Muslims. Some of them actually recognize Israel, the
Right.
house of Israel, or the children of Israel, as they call them. So it's something real, and it's something real complex when it comes down to the identity, and it's selfish for a lot of people in America to be led away by these camps or think that just they're the only ones that have this knowledge.
Right. Right. Exactly. And also to point what you were saying, there's actually a tribe calling themselves Yosef in Egypt right now as we speak right now. And when you look at all these brothers that are calling themselves Joseph, they're basically saying they go back to the tribe of Joseph, and they live in Egypt right now, and they look like the Egyptians today, like us, like you can pass up as an Egyptian right now, an Egyptian over there in Egypt or Arab and whatever, Iraqi, you know. But there's a tribe called Joseph, and Joseph goes back to the tribe of Joseph. They call themselves the tribe of Joseph. They go back to Joseph, and I met two in Vegas, bro, like 4 years ago when I was in a camp. And we met him, bro. And it's like, we asked his name. It's like, my name is Joseph. And then, we flipped out like, yo, boom, and we asked him, why do you call yourself Joseph? And he even told us like, well, we believe that we go back to our forefather Joseph, which, was a king in Egypt. So, and this is why we read about the Ephraimites. They're always calling back to Egypt because that was the only power or the authority that they actually rule out of, right? Because Joseph was the favorite, so he was given a blessing. Obviously, it was through a dream. Remember, he dreamed that 11 packs of wheat bow down to Joseph, and the sun and the moon bow down to Joseph as well. I mean,
Yeah,
my bad. 11 stars.
those
11
stars. Yep.
stars were bound down to Joseph. Yeah, which was he was going to be a king, and all the tribes was going to bow down to Joseph. Well, it happened. That prophecy happened. Joseph was a king. This is why a lot of the Ephraimites always want to go back to Egypt. They want to feel powerful. They want to feel like, oh, yo, we rule. We're son's favorite. Ephraim is my first son, But they gotta understand that the bloodlines of Jesse through the lines of Judah, David, and Solomon. That's the king rulers, especially from the tribe of with the lineage of Nathan. So so yeah, man, the tribes are there. They're everywhere, and like you're saying, a lot of brothers focus on the northern hemisphere, the Americas, and so on and so forth. But they don't understand that we're basically everywhere. Like I brought out last time, we have a remnant of people in China, they call themselves Ben and Manasseh, the Manasseh from the tribe of Manasseh, and so they call themselves Ben Manasseh or something like that. And they talked about that. I read up a little bit of the history though, when 3 lives ago on our podcast, and how they carry the scrolls all throughout their migration. They mingle with the Chinese or the Mongols and so on and so forth, but they are our people. They are our people regardless of looks and so on and so forth. And this is why Jose Vega and I were saying, like, listen, there's going to be white looking Israelites. There's going to be black looking Israelites, Chinese looking Israelites, bro. That's why we have to test the spirit, bro. The spirit, testing of the spirit is what Israel is. Israel is a spirit. It's not a flesh, because our flesh can change over time. Our shades of brown, our shades, our texture of hair, it can change, and it's been changing, right? It's been changing. So that's why we can't be as carnal as to say, well, you gotta look morenito, brownish, with hair like this and these type of features and this type of nose and this type of lips, these phenotypes. No, because it's got to be tested through the spirit. You can paint an egg, right? The eggshell of an egg, you can paint it. You can paint it blue, black, white, red, pink, yellow, whatever. But when you crack that egg, bro, that egg is yellow and white in the inside. It was the same thing with Israel. Israel can change in many colors like a speckled bird, But at the same time, the spirit of Jacob, the spirit of Jacob lives in various shades of brown, textures of hair, and shapes of body, bro. This is why we can be judging. Well, you ain't Israel. No, bro. The spirit has to be tested. That's why we're saying there's gonna be black Hebrew Israelites amongst us. They're gonna look like Hamites, but their spirit has to be geared towards the Shemitic mindset, like us, like how we think, how we are. How are we? Even in our wickedness, how are we? Are we not a meek people? Are we not a meek nation, a peaceful multitude, like the scripture says? We are, regardless, right? Our enemies, regardless of wickedness, we're still the same people, right? But in wickedness, right, which is horrible, bad. This is why we're here in this
Yeah,
predicament.
heck,
But
man, yeah, man, most definitely. Porque like I don't mean to hate on Americans or nothing like that, but because I grew up in the Bay Area, you know, in the East Bay, but a lot of people that come into the truth supposedly, and you know, they're calling themselves Israelites, they still keep a lot of ghetto ways, whether you're Mexican, black, or light skin or whatever. A lot of people still keep a very worldly, carnal minded character or personality, so it's really hard to see as the someone's true meekness or humility or main characteristics that an Israelite should have, especially someone that's in Hamashiach Yahushai. They should have a different kind of outgoing character, and even in the way you speak to people. Otherwise, you just look like these Sakari fools or all these other, you know, camps acting ghetto as fuck, you know, shalaki for the word, acting so so carnal, so worldly, so American, I want to say, right? So
beastly, like beastly, like
Babylonian.
beastly, like the beast.
Yeah, exactly. Beastly or salvajemente, savagely, you know, like straight savages. Because that's the when you know when we come from the sickness, right? I know a lot of brothers that are watching, you know, myself. We come from the sickness. We come from the hoods. We come from the bodies. We come from gang banging, dope dealing, or we come from just being stupid, right? Shalaki for the world. We come from this environment. You know, with First Corinthians, or like the First Corinthians, we look like the Church of Corinthians. A lot of us came from the sickness. You know, a lot of us were nothing, and by the grace of the Most High, Abba Yahweh, we woke up and we actually pursued and had thirst for knowledge, right? For really coming into the truth and purging ourselves from the worldly. So to say that you're an Israelite or India nowadays and to be actually acting you know, in a way which you know better, and if you read, you know, wisdom, and if you read all of the beautiful treasures and knowledge that the scriptures have, you should actually mold your character in such a way, especially if you're really saying you're a son of the Most High. You cannot be acting a certain way. I see brothers in Peru, right? They're still South America. They act a little bit different, right? But these are people that can't come from the pueblos, from the villages or campos, and so they were never around this American spirit or this Cain city spirit. You know what I mean? Nowadays, especially this, I call it this Babylonian spirit, where it's materialism, ghetto-ness, whatever it could be, and it's kind of hard to get away from those moldings or those origins, that environment, right? But a lot of brothers that come from the pueblos or from the cities, doesn't matter. It could be all over the world, not just aquí in Latin America, not just in so-called Latin America, but all over the world, especially in the Middle East or somewhere like in Southeast Asia or the island. They have a different type of a way of character. So like you're saying, and like we know the character of Yah, the seal of Yah, or the way you're supposed to be when you really truly come into being, should reflect on everything you do. It doesn't matter if you're tatted up, it doesn't matter, but you know you can see through someone when they really live it. Because a lot of these people, a lot of people, no, not you know, even I do this sometimes. I still, you know, we still have the vanities, we still have the ways of being and this and that. But a lot of people that truly get that true water, that really drink from the mouth of the Yahweh Shai, that really have the knowledge and truly are waking up. Oh man, those people are a blessing, man, because those are actually people that are actually the ones that we look to fellowship, right? Like you guys or other brothers that I fellowship with, that we keep it on scripture, right? We keep it on true manna, true bread breaking. And so it's beautiful that you guys brought that out. No, or that you guys are mentioning that the identity of a lot of people, or the gypsies. Because you were doing a documentary, I guess, right? A documentary on the gypsies, right?
I need And it's an interview that I've had. I have
Shalakia
conversations with
interview.
actual gypsies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shalakia. That's beautiful
in real
because
life. It-
what kind of gypsies? Well, I haven't even seen the video, Shalakia. I just want to promote a promo, no, a little promo. De que trata el interview because I want to see because there's a lot of gypsy people that are like, and they could be Judah, Yahuda, or Joseph. Yusuf.
right. Well, you guys see. I'm not gonna say it, but you'll see that they're gonna look like you, bro. They look like you. They look like any like sureño, like vatos locos. You would think he's Mexican, bro. You would really think he's Mexican when you guys, bro, look at the brother. You're gonna flip out, bro. And when in fact he is a gypsy. And the most I showed him to me when I was actually going down. Well, I'm not gonna give it away. You brothers listen to the interview, but it's gonna be powerful because he even is gonna say themselves like what is going on. Your brothers see it. It's really powerful, and it's the most I doing. This is the most I doing. This is why we read earlier that the wine, like the water is being poured out by the Mosai, and then he's creating a canal in the desert, bro. And that canal is basically the wisdom being poured out in our minds. Well, that's basically knowledge being uh, um, sprung forth right here on YouTube, right here on Facebook, where we brought it out, and now we're here. And our brothers have to understand, like, bro, this is really what's happening, bro. The Mosai is opening up the rivers again for us to drink because we have been desolate, bro. This is the last desolation, right? This is the last captivity, the last desolation. This is why brother Hoshi was saying, like, our people want to act like the Edomites or like the white man. We want to act like them, and so on and so forth. And so that's because you have the prophecy in the book of the Apocrypha, was Second Esdras, I believe, when it says that the wings of the eagle were gonna be in the four corners of the earth, right? Like left and right, like Western and Eastern hemisphere. Well, that's exactly why we read in what is Revelations when it talks about the beast coming out of many waters, right? And that the horn drank from the wine, and that everybody has been drunk with that wine, which is Christianity, which is the westernized mentality, right? Like they have to do certain things according to their mindset. So everybody wants to act like that. You go to China, you're gonna find Chinese trying to be wise, like how whites act and stuff. Even our own people, South America, and so on and so everywhere, bro. So that's the wine also. That's part of the wine, like the mindset, the state of being, right? The state of being and existence right now as we speak. Like all the ideology is being pushed out now. So
That's actually, man. That's actually, yeah, very very important. 'Cause a lot of people are trying to be, I guess, because you can see it on the television and on the mainstream media, in the secular world. You can see a lot of people are trying to be either, there's nothing wrong. Either they're trying to be American, but they're trying to be like Edomite American or Canaanite American based on the pop culture. Let's just call it the American culture. They'll try. The whole world's trying to be America. The American dream has become like the world's nightmare. So a lot of people are imitating a bunch of malarkey, a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of, whether it be urban, or rural, or city, whatever it could be. They're trying to copy the wrong people, right? And that's actually affecting Israel a lot. That's why there's a lot of division, a lot of set tripping, let's call it, amongst our people. Or even in South America, we have Messianics, Orthodox. You have a whole bunch of different doctrines and stuff. And it's because a lot of people are actually I don't know if they come or they come across the wrong knowledge, or they come across the wrong people, but then it's really hard to get away from these you know come across, it's kind of hard to get away from these false doctrines. I'm actually looking at the Bible uh, of the Jehovah's Witness, and a lot of these dudes uh, they actually took away I don't know if you can see, but they actually took away Matthew 18:11. Like, you know what I mean? They took away Matthew 18:11. I mean 18:11 from the Bible. It just says 11. There's a slant, and it's where it says, the Son of Man came to save that which was lost. So
Right.
I want to ask a Jehovah's Witness why they took away that cause you know how they come knocking on your door. Why did you know why do they? There's a little bit of I don't know if you guys have talked about it before, but there's a lot of Bibles that are actually altered. There's a lot of omitted verses, changed terms, or we already know there's missing books, apocrypha, and all these things, even New Testament apocrypha. But just just the amount of counterfeit religions or counterfeit doctrines based on the Basora or even on the Talmud, the Torah. There's a lot of different alterations. These things are actually add on to the people not knowing their identity or discrediting your identity. Or when you tell a brother, hey, how scared you're an Hebrew Israelite, they're like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Or, it's kind of hard to get our people because there's a lot of division and there's a lot of false information. So when you do these type of interviews and type of videos, it's appreciated, right? There's not that many people doing these kinds of videos, and you really admire people like you guys doing, or other brothers that are out there, exposing all kinds of doctrines and all kinds of lies and deception, man. You got people in the middle. You got people in South America and different
Shalom,
parts
brothers
that are
there.
away. Yeah. Oh, brother Ephraim's there. Shalom, brother Ephraim.
Can you brothers hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me? Shalom.
Shalom, shalom,
Shalom, brother Ephraim. Shalom.
shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Can you brothers hear me or no? Shalom.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Sí, te escuchamos. You hear me now?
Nah, his phone dropped off. He's gonna join back in.
Shalom, shalom, shalom,
Shalom, shalom, shalom. His phone dropped off.
shalom, shalom. You brothers there or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Um, hold on, shalom. Jose Vega, you there? Vega, you there?
Yes, brother Jose Vega's there, but he probably cannot hear you.
He probably has it on mute. Shalom. I can hear you now. I can hear you guys.
Shalom, Ephraim. What's going on, bro?
None, beloved, just hearing and want to just stay here with you brothers if I can. If not, it's all right. I know the brothers are teaching and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. So, Jose, you there?
Yeah, estoy ahí.
Okay.
Estoy.
But yeah, man, that's basically what we wanted to talk about, like the wells. I don't know if you brothers follow the lesson or follow along with us reading the scriptures on the wells and the struggle and the contention of those wells by our enemies, the Hamites. So, and how that applies to ourselves today, how we have to be close to a well and how we're supposed to be drawing that water from the well to feed the flock, to feed the people, right? To feed ourselves, but also to feed the field with water so that the fields may grow. So, and once we do that, there's gonna be the Mosai is gonna start adding on to the tribes. People are gonna start waking up from the slumber. People are gonna start coming out of those Canaanite towns and their synagogues of Satan and their doctrines, and we're gonna multiply. And when that happens, it's going to happen the same thing that happened to our forefather Isaac, where a lot of these Philistines envy him because he was multiplying and he was growing and he was prosperous, to the point that Isaac had to move out of there, which means to be separate, to be Kodash, separate. Holy nation means to be separate from everybody else. So, but that's basically what our people don't want to do today. So, why? Because the Philistines have put dirt into those wells, just like we read also how Isaac was digging up wells, which digging means what? To search out, to put in the work, to actually dig in information, right? not just let these brothers lie to you, bro. And that's what's happened throughout these many years that these camps have been in existence, teaching lies to our people, right, for years. Now that we're coming in, digging wells, which putting in the effort, putting in the work. That's to dig. You brothers dig those wells too. It's not just us. So, I commend everybody else to do the same thing in the spirit of the Most High. Not because I say, but, because it's necessary, bro. It's necessary. You brothers understand, like, there's a conspiracy against us, man. And that's why the conspiracy of our wells back in ancient times. Philistines envy us. Therefore, they wanted to, put dirt in all our wells so that we would not live. So that's what I want to bring out. I hope you brothers were edified or understood those concepts. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Brothers can hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear you, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to bring out. Again, I hope you brothers got edified. I don't know if Jose Vega is gonna say something or not. I don't know if you can hear me. Is there anything else you want to add, brother, Efrain?
No, no. I mean, if you want me to add something, I can add Hosea 7, where it says that my tribe, Ephraim, is gonna come upon a time that he's gonna turn into a silly dove, pushing his people to believe in these Canaanites. It's in the Bible, you know. It's gonna be upon a time that Ephraim himself, instead of leading the tribes back to where they belong, he's gonna start asking Tyre and Sidon for questions, the Egyptian,
Right.
you know.
Exactly. Which is why I said that's what Joseph was dwelling in. I don't know if you were here when I brought that scripture out. That Joseph was gonna live next to a well. You know, I don't know if you read that scripture, but symbolizing the wisdom that Joseph learned in Egypt when he was a king or pharaoh there, because he even married the daughter of a priest, and priests of Egypt were basically the priests of the mystery schools, which was the schools that taught the ancient knowledge of way back in ancient times that people don't understand now today. Some of us do, but a lot of people don't. So that's why it says that Joseph was, it was like a bowl next to a well, feeding himself with knowledge, because that's what Egypt was, the center of knowledge and wisdom back in ancient times. Um, but yeah, a lot of the Ephraimites think that they want to go back to their power when they had power under Joseph, because Joseph was a pharaoh or a king in Egypt, second in command to Pharaoh. So they go back to Egypt because they remember that, oh yeah, we were kings, man, we led, and the 11 tribes bowed down to Joseph, which it happened, it was prophecy. But that's what it's going into too, that Ephraimites also want to go to Egypt because they want to put themselves as kings and so on and so forth, even though there's kings of the tribe of Judah, the royal tribes of the king, which is what we read in Ezekiel 37, that when the king comes, which is King David, he's going to actually set everything in order. Everything in order. So that's it. Shalom, Yisrael. Shalom. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you brothers were edified with it. Hope you brothers understand the magnitude or the importance of digging wells, right? Putting in the work, putting in the effort to find out information, to search out whether or not someone's lying to you. And we've known who's lying to a lot of our people, a lot of these canonized Egyptians amongst ourselves, because it's part of prophecy that they were left amongst us as a test. And what is that test? What test do we need to pass? What is that test that we are being given to or confronting or facing? What is it? What is that test? There's many tests, bro. There's many tests. and our people, a lot of our people are failing. We are failing, you know. So if we don't rise up like Moses did, like when he fled from Egypt, remember he fled from Egypt and he went into the land of Midian, and he met the Midianite, the daughter of the Midianite, the priest, you know, he was in a well. Moses stood up. He said he stood up and fought amongst the other shepherds that were trying to that the Shemites wanted to feed of that well with water, but the other shepherds didn't allow the Midianites to do that. So were part of our family. So Moses stood up and fed the flocks. So that's what we're called to do, man. Feed the flock today. Feed the flock. Feed the
Salak,
flock.
Salakia, beloved Khan, what you just said was powerful because remember, Ephraim right now, or you could say even Manasseh, is a big influence on amongst the tribes that just woke up at this point. And the sad part about that is we as the so-called leader tribe, we're supposed to lead our people in the right direction. Instead, you got certain brothers, Ephraimites, pushing the ideology of Canaan on top of them and making brothers and sisters feel bad. Like, oh, see, you racist now, and you should pick up the sign and you see this God, he's the real God, and pointing them to the wrong direction. Which is that's why Hosea 7 is real important. If you can bring it out, it's real important, brother. Like a lot of people will start listening to that and be like, "Wow, wait a minute." Certain brothers is gonna have that certain spirit right now, leading their own people into Tyre and Sidon, and that's what the sad thing is about. Even you see it out there. You go out there in the platform and Facebook, you got Ephraim sizing himself with the Canaanites, taking pictures, hugging them. Like you guys said earlier, that Stockholm syndrome because they remember that's their slave master, but they don't realize it. Like it says in Hosea 7, it says Ephraim is looking for knowledge in Tyre and Sidon and the Egyptians, but he doesn't even realize it himself. Yeah, he became an old man, gray hairs is upon him, and he doesn't realize it. Meaning this guy is just pushing lies on their own people, and he don't even consider it to be a lie. He believes in his own lies. He will actually go around and make his people fall by the sword, because that's what they're doing. The Canaanites right now ain't being a peaceful nation. The Canaanites is coming out with vengeance and even harder and stronger. You know, they're trying to take us down by the thousands, taking our women, taking our daughters, taking our children, um, and basically spiritually sacrificing them to these devil Canaanite gods. If you think about it, because once you grab that idol and you start saying this is the God now, you even replacing the real image of God that is in the Bible according to the Spirit. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yep. So, and that goes back to what the lesson was today, for brothers to start digging wells, because a lot of those wells that live in the spirit of the minds of the people, they have sand in those wells. There's sand, so the water is not coming out just because it's covered with sand, because the Philistines have, poured in, just like we read when Isaac was dealing with a lot of the Philistines. Right, it's the same thing today. We are dealing with a lot of these Philistines running their mouths, this and that and the third, and then on top of the Philistines, we're dealing with the Canaanites. Right, so we are fighting two front lines as we speak, just like our forefathers did. So that's us, going in there, seeing what the wells are, because remember, our people know that they're Israelites in their spirit, hidden away way back in the subconscious of themselves. They know that they're special. They know something happened before. They in their subconscious, it tells them it's there, bro. It's like a yearning deep inside themselves, and they know. So a lot of our people are crying out today, but they don't have wells. They can't drink out of that water because there's no wells, and the wells that there are, they're full of sand because of the Philistines, and that's exactly what's going on. And this is why, the call that was given out, send out, through this message, for brothers to start digging wells. Digging in means to put in the work, to actually go and do the research, Everybody has to put their hands on it. Everybody, like every single one of you has to do it. Everybody has to
Con.
fight. Everybody has to fight their own battles in their own lots of allotment that Moses gave you.
That's
You
right.
know, because Moses gave us a certain inheritance, and even there, he's like, "Listen, we haven't driven out all the Canaanites and Hittites and so on and so forth, but the ones that are left amongst you, go fight it yourselves." Even after Joshua died, after Joshua died, who took the battle? Judah. And then Judah fought for all his years until his old age, and he died, and the battle continued, bro. So the battle, it hasn't ended because we're still here. Look at us. They're amongst us.
Right,
They're
right.
been lying. They've been trying to steal our stuff. Now that we're coming in, the fight is on, right? So dig wells. And once you have that well digged out and there's water springing forth, protect that well, right? And start feeding your people. That's for everybody. Everybody that's gonna watch this live, everybody that's gonna listen to this live, that is your call.
That's right.
Go out and start digging wells. Once you find that water, let it spring forth to irrigate our plants in the spiritual sense, our little ones, our little ones, the younging ones coming in, so on and so forth, right? To
Con.
irrigate the lands, the food, things that we eat, the spiritual food that our souls need, right? In order for that, to irrigate all of that, in order for us to drink water so that we don't dehydrate, so that there's no desolation in the land. And I explained that desolation means what? When the moisture is taken out of the ground and the air and is swept away. And then you see what? Droughtness. You can't plant a seed, nothing grows because it's desolate. Which what our people are going through today. There's desolation, bro. But just like we read in Isaiah 58, Isaiah 43 or whatever, that the Most High spring, it's opening up roads in the wilderness, and those roads is gonna be canals of water, rivers, bro. And that's
Right.
what is going on today. So with that, we're gonna close it out. It's almost 3 hours.
Con. Con.
Hopefully, brothers were edified, and hopefully, brothers understand the concept of digging wells. And if the wells are covered with sand, start digging more and let the water spring forth. Shalom, Yashua. Shalom, Ephraim. Thanks
Shalom,
for
brother.
sharing, bro. Thanks for being here. Shalom, everybody. Most I bless you all.